What's going on, guys? I was coming home from work today, and I had realized that there is a dueling tournament for the PvP server Reign of Thule, the one that I covered in a video last week or so. It's the first dueling tournament of the game. They're still in Classic, so it's pretty rudimentary. But I thought it would be something cool to watch. I was interested in it just to see. It's like a best of the best duel, so each class duels only their other class. So you get the best of each class. Now, there was a smaller turnout than on a long time established server. The server's been out less than 2 months, and again, it's only in Classic. But here we are at the arena in the Bazaar. The Bazaar is open. There's a portal to get there from Classic. The classes that they're going to have are Rogue, Necromancer, Wizard, Monk, Druid, Shaman, Paladin, and Magician. Those are the classes that they had at least enough to have a few matches in so they could see the best of the best. So I thought it'd be cool to just kind of watch it and see what's going on. I don't know very much about the server outside of the video that I had. I haven't been here, I haven't played here, but I thought I would log in and check this out because it really sounded interesting. I didn't know where I would be able to find it. I kind of checked Twitch to see if anybody was streaming it. I checked YouTube to see if anybody was streaming it. I couldn't find anything. Maybe there is, and I just couldn't find it. But right before the tournament started, I ended up seeing in their Discord, they streamed through the Discord. So I don't know if that's going to be placed as a VOD on YouTube somewhere. But also it was supposed to be 1440, 60 frames. But it did look a little choppy. That could have been, maybe myself, but it does look like they have the updated Discord, or like the backed Discord or whatever, the money put into Discord channel to get the better streaming. But I kind of saw that at the last second. I already decided to do it. Screw it. Let's spread the word more and everything. But this will probably be a long one, I imagine, because that's just the nature of dueling. And there's quite a few matches to go through, but we're going to try to get it down to as little as we can and cut out all the dead time and all of that. And just take a look and see who the best of the best are in Classic. It is EverQuest PvP. So obviously if you're here, you're familiar with EverQuest, and you're probably familiar with EverQuest PvP. It's pretty janky and pretty slow paced, hard to see what's going on and all of that, but it is what it is. Hopefully we'll have a good time. Now this thing starts, I'm early. It doesn't start for another 22 minutes. I'm actually surprised at the lack of people here. These guys just actually showed up. I was the only one here a second ago. And this is the Bazaar Arena. Now, it's only Classic on this server, Reign of Thule PvP, but there is a portal in the EC tunnel that takes you to the Bazaar, because the Bazaar is out, so you don't use the EC tunnel. Whether you like that or not, that's up to you, but that's how it is. But look at this. Look at the old Bazaar in all its glory. Oh, man, you guys remember back in the day? Everybody just sitting here, selling their wares, finding a spot, this place just being absolutely packed. We're on 56K. It's so laggy. You can't even get around. You got to look at the ground to move anywhere, and then you kind of like look up. Oh, I went too far. Oh, shoot. And you're trying to move the mouse, and you just see so many people, and you're just like, okay, I need to go this direction. So then you look down and you keep moving. Man, those were the days, right? We got the stables right here. This is where all the casinos were, all the people scamming, or maybe not, with the casinos and everything. Why am I not silenced on Discord? And then there's always this guy on my server. I played on Bertoculus back in the day. There's like a human warrior right here named Weasel Pup. I wonder if that guy, these people got to be out there, right? These are like old people that you remember. And then there's the two banks, this one and the other one. And one other one I want to say is the server just came up, actually. That's probably why all the people aren't there. They took the server down to do some changes for PvP. And now they just brought the server back up. So people are starting to log in. But then right here was always a troll. I think it was a troll shaman. Always right here. And his name was Scarface. And it was spelt like Skarfase on Bertox. That guy's got to be out there somewhere. I always wonder about these guys. Some ogre warrior named Brutal. I'm trying to think of like other big names on that server. Like way back in the day. But anyways. Just getting a little nostalgic, how EQ do. Can't wait for this to come out on Quarm. honestly. Like, we'll get there one day. I should be able to wait, but I kind of can't at the same time. So the first thing we got going is the rogue. The rogues are going first. They're pretty small brackets, but we do have a bracket that we could look at. This is the bracket. So it looks like there was maybe a you know, odd amount of people. There was like 5 people. So it looks like Myth. Well, it's not that he's getting a bye, but I guess Genkai and Rourke have to play an extra round is what it is. But the winner will then play Myth. So Myth, Walk, and Juke get a bye. And then it'll go into there. So this updates automatically, so we can just Alt-Tab and stay paying attention to that. So I guess they're going, I guess. I had to turn the UI on so that we could see their life totals. Let's bring that somewhere. Right here. Or maybe they're just messing around pre-game messing around, I'm not sure. Maybe they're dueling. I think they're dueling. I didn't hear him say go though. Oh, they shouted it right here in the chat. Begin, it says. It's really small. Let's not fall in. That would be a disaster. So first up, we got Rourke. Oh, somebody fell in. Oops. Versus Genkai. So this is it, boys. This is EverQuest PvP. Genkai's at 73%. Rourke's at 44%. I wish we could see the combat log or something. Maybe you can on their stream. I wonder if they'll upload it eventually. Probably. But we're just here spreading awareness. Rourke's down to 29%. Genkai is up there. Barbarians has got that crazy strength. Dwarves aren't too bad either. Genkai's still above 50%. Rourke's looks like they're gonna go down here. They're at 9%. One more good backstab and they might be out. Oh. He's running for his life here. I don't know what you're gonna do, buddy. Oh, you turned your back to her. That's not good. 2% on Rourke, and he's gone. Genkai takes the first round with 48% hit points left. It's quite a difference. So Genkai from Power Rangers. Now let's see. Let me see here. So this is going to update. Genkai is going to take it. It's going to move over to here. So it's going to be Myth versus Genkai next. But I'm wondering if we'll do Walk versus Juke first and let Genkai get a moment to, you know, gather themselves. Okay, we're going. These kind of happen suddenly. There's no verbal announcement in the Discord. There's just. So we got, it is Myth versus Genkai. We're going straight for the top of the 2 brackets. We got Myth at 93% HP. Genkai is at 93%, so it's pretty even so far. I really wish we could see the combat log. If we were, you might have to be close or something to see that. That would have been something cool if that was like, I don't know. Something we could do. I didn't have time to mess with the UI. This happened suddenly. All I did was use the restroom. Okay, Genkai is still at 91%. Myth with the roll for style points. Genkai coming out of Power Rangers, which I hear is one of the top guilds on the server. It's just what I hear. I don't know too much. Genkai is going down a bit. Myth getting a little bit of a lead, only about 6%. I'm gonna have to add some music or something, because this is pretty quiet. Okay, let's check back in on Myth here. Myth is at 77%. Meanwhile, Genkai is at 86%. So somehow, Genkai must have landed some backstabs and really put him in front. They swapped. Genkai still holding the lead with Myth down to 64%. Not too much of a lead, though. Oof, Myth down to 37%. What is happening? Genkai going berserk. Trying to strategically get a backstab in without giving up a backstab. They announced ahead of time, no, you know, no stealth shenanigans, no hide sneak shenanigans. Just get in there and fight it out. So we got Myth at 33%. Genkai still above 50% at 56%. Barbarian versus Dwarf again. It's kind of weird. You don't really see him swinging too much here. The hit points haven't really moved in a little while. Genkai still above 50%, and Myth still at 30%. Kind of have a stalemate right here. Got to imagine a lot of misses. Now this dueling tournament was level 46 plus, so everybody in here is 46 plus. I believe. Okay, Myth got hit with something big, down to 12%. Genkai smells blood, 43%. Oh, procced something on him. He's down to 5%. He's walking slow. Some sort of snare, maybe. 2%. He's going to go down. We're going to lose Myth here. And Myth is down. Genkai with a 2-game streak, down to 12%, though. Look at that. So it looked like it was being dominated by Genkai, but towards the end there, when Genkai decided to, you know, throw it all in and just go for the kill, definitely, you know, threw defense to the wind and took some damage herself right there. So you can kind of understand why they're being so careful, running around, being a matador to each other, because they don't want to take damage like that. But when, you know, when she smelled blood and she went in for the kill, she also took a lot of damage herself. And, you know, depending on RNG, that can go the wrong way. So if we take a look at our bracket here, we got Genkai is the first to be in the finals for the Rogues. We're going to now see Walk versus Juke. All right, so they're about to begin. Again, we have Juke versus, what was it, Walk? Juke versus Walk. We got Dwarf on Dwarf. So it was four dwarves? 4 dwarves and a barbarian for the Rogues. Gangsta says no consumes. They may have dispelled them. I think they dispel them prior to the... I mean, they're melee, so they cast something on them. These little buggers are hard to click on, but we got Juke down to 85%. Walk is a bit more in his 96%. Looks like they got a similar loadout. I wonder if I can increase my depth perception or something. Okay, Walk is at 84%, 82%. Let's take a look at Juke is at 76%. So they're keeping it close, but they are dying a little faster than the previous battles. Can I make this bigger? Oh, I can. Let's do that. Different client, different server, different client. Not used to what all we can do here. Okay, so Juke's at 62. He's crouching, not sure what he's doing. Can I click on walk, please? Walk is at 76%, so it's a bit one-sided now. Well, not too much, but he's got 25% on him. That's pretty good. Oof, Juke just took some major damage, down to 36%. I cannot click on these guys to save my life. Walk is at 6. Can I? Yes, getting the wrong people. Walk is still at 66%. Let's take a look at Juke here, because he's getting pretty low. Juke is at 19%. Looks like Walk is going to take this one handily. Not sure what all the crouching's about, unless he's trying to take crits or something. Somebody says hidden tech. Somebody says stop ducking. He's interrupting backstab cast. I think it's a joke. Walk sits down over here. Get a med tick in. We got Juke down to 9%, so it's going to be over shortly right here, 4%. Walk is going to take this nice and easy. This one seemed kind of like a gimme. He sat down there at the end to get wrecked, I think. So Walk took it with 55% health. That was a little bit weird. We're going to run into those where, you know, there's no requirements besides being level 46 plus. So anybody can be in here. This is the first one. The server's still new. Only classic. So new that not all classes could be filled. Even though like a cleric on cleric duel would be, you know, you don't necessarily need to see that. But let's take a look at the rogue best of the best bracket. So we are down to the finals, which is going to be Genkai, the Barbarian, versus Walk. We're going straight into it. Now Genkai had to beat 2 people to get here, whereas Walk only had to beat 1. So we know Genkai is the real deal. And Walk kind of had an easy match. His one match was kind of a fluke, or kind of a gimme. No offense to Juke, but it seemed like he didn't really want to be there. And maybe I'm wrong, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong. We got Genkai at 96%. Walk is already down to 84%. Genkai, the Barbarian. The Barbarians are the real deal. This is still classic. Barbarians are the real deal when it comes to rogues. Let's see if they can hold on to it here. So we got Walk down to 76%. Genkai at 81%. It's still close. They're both in Power Rangers. We got guild on guild violence. Walk down to 65%. Genkai at 78. The gap widens a bit. Still plenty of battle to be had. I know they've done some raiding. I'm not sure what guilds do what, but you got to imagine they're at least in pre-planar abyss at this point. Walk at 56% health. Genkai at 63. Still within 10%, which means, you know, it's anybody's backstab. Somebody landed a proc. Wish we could know who. Well, I think we can. Genkai looked a little slow there, but not anymore. Walk is down to 21%. Genkai at 41%. There's a 20% lead. He has double the health. Looks like Walk's going to go down here. We got Walk down to 12%. Walk at 1%. Genkai at 26%. Walk's going to go down here. All he needs to do is land pretty much anything. And there it is. Genkai Congratulations to Genkai. That's it. That's the winner of the Rogue bracket. Let's give her a clap. Can we do that from this distance? Different client. You can. On Quarm, you gotta be like up their ass to get a clap off or to get any sort of emote off. But it is what it is. All right. Nice. Let's take a look at the bracket again. Just to finalize everything. Oh, there is no winner spot. That's interesting. Or is there? Huh. It's a little bit weird. But okay. We saw it for ourselves, so we know Genkai won. Congratulations to Genkai. Let's see what class is going to be next. And take a look at that bracket. So it looks like we're doing Necromancers next. So we got Zar and let's take a look at the bracket. They were going to do Druids, but apparently they're missing. So we have the first one here, and we have one buy. How did that happen? I think it's completely random. So they just threw it into a randomizer, and if you get lucky, you get lucky. So Dreadeyes got lucky with the buy. But we got Zar versus Witch up first. Looks like they're getting the dispels. They're in here. But they do want to do self buffs. So they're giving them 2 minutes to do self buffs. Let's take a look at the chat. Congrats to Genkai. Genkai says, I suck dicks IRL. And Walk says, yeah, I love dicks in my mouth. Okay. And Parcel says, what a victory speech. True. Can't think of a better one off the top of my head. They're doing self-buffs. They got about 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pause here. Okay, so it looks like they're being told to begin. I don't know if they're ready or not. But here they go. Looks like everybody in the tournament gets a SO and a C invis. Just to keep things rolling so it's not slow. Here they go. Surely this one can't be too long. I forgot to check my distance. I'll do that in the next one. We can kind of see what's going on here, maybe. So we got Witch is inflicted by a poison bolt. Zar is inflicted with a Bond of Death. Venom of the Snake is on Zar as well. Zar is at 46% life. Let's take a look at Witch. Witch is at 100% life with the Bond of Death. That was the play, it seems. It does seem like they both have Bond of Death on them now. They're taking massive amounts of damage. Venom of the Snake still on Zar. I mean, perhaps there's more on Witch that I can't see from this distance. I'm not sure. 226 points of non-melee damage. That's... seems like the spells are powerful. Mine aren't doing that, I'll tell you that much. So we might be in pop era post-vamp dots. Witch took a fat dot, down to 37%. Healing up though. Their life is actually quite volatile at the moment. Zar seemed to have stayed steady at 54%. He's taking the lead now, Witch is down to 40%. Kind of curious what's going on with the pets. I mean, Witch has a pet on her. This other pet's just spazzing out over there. I don't know if that's just a visual thing. Zar is at 70%. I think he's just spamming life taps maybe at this point. There's too much going on. I'm not a caster. I don't have 17 eyes or whatever. Witch is down to 10% life. And Zar is at a whopping 86%. Finishes off with a life tap there. And Zar absolutely wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. These pets bugged out or what? Root and Fear can't target. Was that pet just warping? People are asking questions now about the pet through the floor bug. People are just making assumptions. Zar says /tar Zabab. Which Zar was one of the people in there, but it does seem like somebody's pet was over here stuck spazzing out. I used the target key. So he's saying get good. And the other one was saying they were having problems targeting. They're not crying for a redo or anything like that. They were just simply stating that they were having issues targeting the pet. whereas he said, get good, basically. Okay. So let's take a look at the bracket and see if they updated it or if something else is going on. Yeah, they've put Zar in the bracket already. So next up should be probably Wang and Jamie. But we'll see where we go from here. We'll give it a pause. Wait, we got Dread Eyes. And Zar is still in there. Now, why might that be? Where's Dread Eyes? We're just straight up, like, let's get it out of the way. Let's see who's in the finals already and then make the other people work. Okay. Now, if you see here, his pet has double stun whips, and his pet also has double stun whips. If you've been watching my Fappy videos, you'll know that we've been leveling with Miana Sendrith on his enchanter using these stun whips. Now they're dual wielding them. This is gonna get a little wonky. I'm sure they're, you know, hasted. So we'll see how this goes down. We're already going. I didn't see the begin though. Oh wait, right there. Okay. So Zar is at 84%. Zar is inflicted with a poison bolt. We got Dread Eyes at 99%. Don't see any other damage going out. Zar is inflicted with Bond of Death as well. Do not see Dread Eyes inflicted with anything. There we go. Dread Eye is inflicted with the Bond of Death. Zar at 74%. Dread Eyes at 91%. Seems like both pets are doing their thing. They are rooting the pets. Well, at least Zar did the thing again where he rooted the pet to get it off of him. Dread Eyes is trying to figure that out right now. Zar at 81%. Dread Eyes now down to 46%. He can't get the pet off of him. You cannot get the pet off of him. If you can't get the pet off of him and figure that out, he's going to get worked. He's down to 35%. Zar is at 83%. He's got the pet back on him. Dread Eyes now into his last 20% of his life. See what Zar's going to do here. Is he going to get the pet off or is he going to go in for the kill? Dread Eyes down to 11%. Zar doesn't give any craps. He's going in for the kill. Dread Eyes is going to take a death here. And Zar cleaned up house. This was a little more competitive, it seems. The pet wasn't an issue here, and I'm not sure that the pet was the issue in the last time. I think the pet was rooted and or feared over here. That's why it was like looking like it was bugging out. And I think the other Necro, I hardly can't think of their name. We'll pull up the bracket here. I think Witch had issues targeting his pet to fear and or root it off. That was the issue, not the pet being bugged out. So we're going to have Zar take that one and move into the finals. Now we're probably going to see Wang versus Jamie next. And then Zach versus Nightmare, and then the winners of both. And then that winner will see Zar. So we got a couple of matches here before we figure out the finals. So we have Wang versus Jamie. So we got a fear off on that pet. Jamie and Clown Patrol. It's another one of the top guilds I hear. We got the pet back. Jamie at 79%. Wang still at 99%. Jamie's being inflicted with Poison Bolt and Venom of the Snake. Don't see anything on Wang yet. Jamie at 64%. Wang has Jamie's pet under control. Jamie is being beaten down by Wang's pet. Wang is taking damage now. He's got a Sistole on. Venom of the Snake is on Jamie now, getting hit with 3 dots. Wang is only getting hit by 1 dot at the moment. Also no pet, whereas... Okay, this is being difficult. Alright, here we are. Jamie at 8%. He got a life leech or something off. He's at 16%. My god, is it hard to click on these dudes? The pet's in the way. Oh well. Jamie's dead, so that's it. Wang still had 50% life. It wasn't close. I was trying to get a life read on Wang, but we knew that he was way ahead. So that was pretty quick. It appeared that Jamie only got 1 dot, the assistal, off on Wang, whereas Wang had 3 dots, including a big one like Venom of the Snake. Wang was also able to CC Jamie's pet, whereas Wang's pet was beating the crap out of Jamie the entire time. So that was a bit one-sided. Look at the brackets here. We got Wang up here. It should be Zach versus Nightmare. Coming up next. All right, we are going to begin here. We have Zach versus Nightmare. What is Nightmare doing? Nightmare is in Disciples of Hell. Hell spelt like Norse mythology. Zach, I believe, is in Power Rangers. Not sure what Nightmare's doing. He might have been snoozing there, but he is at 100%, so maybe I'm wrong. Zach Taylor, also at 100%. We got Zick. Did I say Zick was the Necro earlier? I might have. Zick has a torch on him. Nightmare's inflicted with Venom of the Snake, big time. Zach is doing poison bolts. Nightmare has Bond of Death on now as well. Let's take a look at the life totals. Nightmare is at 58%, whereas Zach is still at an 87%. Quite the life lead there. What is this, a druid? Got a wolf in the arena. Can't see these guys. We can't risk falling in. Neither of them are doing pet control of any kind. Nightmare is at 8%. He might go down here. What is Zach at? Zach is at 100%. Nightmare goes down. That is all she wrote. Neither of them did any sort of pet control, it seemed. Maybe like right at the beginning. But after that, it went out the window. Zach finished at 100% life. And Nightmare went down without much resistance. That was an interesting start, not gonna lie. Interesting start to that fight. So next up, we should be moving Zach over here. We're gonna see Wang versus Zach. The winner of that's gonna face Czar in the finals. Okay, so we do have Zach across from Wang. He should be getting healed up anytime now. Starting to fill up a little bit. Not really, I suppose, but a little bit. They are beginning. The range is a bit bigger than I guess I imagined. They've probably been doing stuff that I don't realize they're doing. Like maybe screaming terror or fearing each other. That's kind of hard to see. So, Nightmare might have been feared in the last match. All right, let's take a look. Wang is at 88%. Zach is at 100%. Zach did fear the pet. Zach is afflicted by Poison Bolt. The reason they're doing this Poison Bolt, like you see here in this chat, is that it's a low-level dot, but it has a knockback, which will interrupt casting. Zach is still at 99%. Wang is at 93%. He's got no cast bug. I'm bugged, can't cast. Uh-oh. We have an issue here. Zach is saying he cannot cast. Zach is... I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Let's see how much life Zach has here. Jesus, it's hard to click on people. Okay, it looks like they're going to reset the match. There's some sort of bug going on. Looks like they may have confirmed, or they know of the bug. The GMs, I mean. So it looks like we're going to restart this one. Okay, they're going to go back in. So once again, this is Wang versus Zach. Doing a restart here. Looks like one of the pets is already under control. I believe that's Zach's pet. Not sure where Wang's pet is. They're both bouncing around. Zach's pet is now on Wang. Wang is at 91% health. Zach is at 88% health. Zach is inflicted with Venom of the Snake as well as Wang. Wang also is inflicted with Bond of Death. Zach's pet is under control, but Wang's is freely wailing on Zach. Wang is at 55% health. The dots are ticking. The pet is on him now. Looks like Zach might have been feared, but Zach has 80% health. That's that Bond of Death. Wang is still taking damage from the pet, Venom of the Snake, and Bond of Death. I really wish he might not be able to, but there we go. Wang is at 3%. It looks like he's going to go down here. Zach is still at 80%. I don't know how Wang could get out of this. Wang's pet is nowhere to be seen. It's still alive, though. 1%, 0%. He's a walking corpse at this point. He goes down. Zach holding a steady 80% hit points. So now Wang is saying, because earlier we said we don't know where his pet went. Now somebody is saying the pet was rooted outside of the arena. Wang is saying his pet warped. Zach says he feared his pet, and he thinks that it went out of the arena and got stuck. I mean, what do you do in these situations, you know? Let's see. Seems like they're just saying screw it. Part of the duel. Could happen to anybody. And Zach moves on. So it's going to be Zar versus Zach in the finals for the Necro. So they're getting their things together. They're going to buff up, and then we're going to get going. So it looks like they are in Discord. They do have the upgraded streaming capabilities. It's supposed to be 1440p, 60 frames per second. It didn't look like that to me when I was watching it, but hopefully the final product is actually pretty good. One of them is down here in the arena, and they're invisible, you know, GM mode going around. So hopefully they have a nice final product. This is the finals once again. We do have Zar versus Zach, is it? That's right. Looks like they're rooting each other's pets here. We got Zach with the torch pet, whereas Zar has the double stun whip pet. So Zar got inflicted with Ignite Blood. Zach is at 100% health. Zar is down to 78% health. Zar is now hit with Venom of the Snake. I don't see anything on Zach quite yet. Zar is going down to 50% health. He's at 47% health. Zach is still at a nice, solid 100% health. Zach now has Bond of Death as well. He's triple dotted. Zar is triple dotted. There's a renew on the Venom of the Snake, maybe. Zach's still at 100% health. Zar also has the pet stuck on him. Not sure where the other pet is. Oh, there it comes. It's going to him. Someone said Zach knows the spot to, I guess, avoid maybe the pet, weird pathing or something like that. Zach is at 100% life. Zar goes down. He's against the wall. I can't see him. But Zach absolutely took that one. That was a little funky. I mean, pets are going to be a little funky. Pathing, you know, EQ. But it is what it is. You get in the arena. Whatever happens, happens. It's battle to the death. So it looks like Zach is going to take it for the Necros. Once again, we don't have the winner column here, but Zach takes out Zar to take it. You see the little one here, I guess. So we will see which class they do next. So we're looking at the Wizards next. Same kind of lineup. Napoleon pulled the short straw and got the first round bye. This is what we're looking like. Wizards. This should be interesting. We got Alatar versus Thakesis? Thakesis. Am I thinking about it too much? An Erudite versus a Gnome. Frodo Baggins over here. Parcel says, let's move monks up. I got a Kung Fu Panda 545 showing. I'm going to go ahead and assume that's a troll. But hey, maybe not. So they are getting buff time. Oh, this is neat. You can click on people's names to report them. I thought it was going to be like send them a tell or who knows what else. I didn't expect it to be a report, but there it is. This is 5:45 PST or EST. Pretty decent movie, by the way. Lol. All right, and they get told to begin. So let's take a look. How the wizard's gonna do. So far, they're just standing there. Oh, here we go. What is this? They're just spamming their hotkeys to nuke, waiting for one of them, waiting for each other to get in within range, I guess. Okay, they're going for it. Looks like they both land something there. Can't see what's going on. But let's see, Thakesis is still at 100%, where Alatar is at 84%, so Thakesis is winning so far. Oof, Alatar takes another big nuke down to 54%. Down to 17%. Thakesis putting in work, staying at 100% life. Alatar might go down with the next nuke here. Thakesis getting hit now, down to 56%. Excuse me, Frodo. Alatar is going to be dead here for sure, though. There's no pet to chip away the damage, so you're going to have to land something. Alatar goes down. And Thakesis at 56% there. Wish we were close enough. It just says non-melee damage. I wish it had spell names or something like that. That'd be nice. Someone's yelling team. That's actually Frodo's yelling Team Euro. Thakesis walks out like a boss. So Thakesis is our first, well, I guess our second person into the semifinals. Up next will be either Brown versus Keistus or Halifax versus Vaya. Vaya? Looks like we'll get Keistus versus Brown next. All right, they are beginning. Keistus versus Brown. Gonna get them both in the same shot here. Keistus already hit with something, down to 63% health. Brown at 88% health. Oh my god. Just like that, I gotta hear what they're saying.
Winner.
I wish I could. 750 points of damage on that nuke. Keistus hit Brown for 131. Brown returns a 750 damage nuke and just lights out.
You got another fight, champ.
Well, that's Wizards for you. This ought to be short and sweet. Okay. Let me try to figure out what's going on here. We got the Thakesis versus Brown. Okay. So we're doing like what we did with the Necro, where we're just going straight through here, and then we'll come back and go straight through the other side. But they're getting a couple minutes to buff here. So it seems like Halifax is MIA for his match. That's one of the, whoops. I'm clicking on the wrong thing here. That's one of the reasons they haven't gone this direction yet. But Halifax is MIA, so they're looking for a sub. Looks like this one's starting. Thekesis versus Brown. They're both at 100%. Seem to be out of range of each other. Sizing each other up. Bushwhacker says they both have that staff. Take from that what you will. I think Brown's going in for one. Thekesis owns it. Maybe it was... Here, let's see here. Brown's still 100%. Thekesis still 100%. They're playing a little Matador game going here. Brown gets hit, but he absorbs it. Okay, we're waiting for Summoner to take actual damage here. They're jousting, right? Doing a little bit of jousting. And then suddenly it'll be over once they work through whatever kind of damage shield or what have you. Whoa. Got a little whiplash there. Looks like Thekesis might be loading something up. Come on, boys. Oh, we got a duck over here. Decided to book it. Both still at 100% life. Looks like we got a stun off. And he's going to follow it up with something big here. Let's see. No? Possibly resists. Possibly absorbs. Now we're hitting. Thekesis drilled with 686 points of damage and 356 prior to that. Hit again for 418. Brown is also taking damage. Brown at 33% health. Thekesis down to 12% though. With a whiz. Oh! And Thekesis drills Brown with 418 damage to put him away. Even though Brown had the lead there, when it's wizard versus wizard, it could just be one nuke. And Thekesis drills him. So we had a bit of like a little Matador going on, a little bit of jousting going on, and then once everything was done and settled, it was a quick match. Very nice. We're going to see what's going on with the next match. They need a sub for Halifax, unless Halifax has showed up within the last 2 minutes here. If Halifax doesn't show up, they're giving the guild in which Halifax is part of first dibs on the replacement. But if they don't have anybody up, they're going to give it to another wizard that's 46 plus. And if they can't come up with that, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. So we'll figure that out and we'll move on to the next match. Halifax got issued a DQ for not showing up. Naturally, what else are you going to get? So Vea gets a bye. Napoleon got a bye, to be fair. So Thekesis and Brown had to nut up and get up to round 2, whereas Napoleon and Via got the bye. So it is what it is. Thekesis is now in the finals. Napoleon and Via are gonna battle it out to see who else will go to the finals. Yeah. Did he get summoned back? I think he keeps walking over there and they keep summoning him back or something. This match should be starting anytime. There we go. So Napoleon versus Via or Vea. Let's see how they go about it. It looks like they might just be getting into it. Not sure where Via is right here. Napoleon's like, I'm not about that life. Let's get into it. He's got 100% health. We're gonna have to... Via at 66%. Napoleon still at 100%. They are throwing nukes at each other. Okay, they are front and center, but 26% to Via. Napoleon is still at 100%, and he nukes Via down. 750 points of damage. And before that, 418 back-to-back. 418 to 750. Finishes him off like a wizard do. But Napoleon is going to be going up against the Cassis in the final right here in just a moment. Okay. They got the word to begin. Once again, it's the Cassis versus Napoleon. No, there's a typo somewhere because his name is actually Thekissis in here. Maybe it's a typo in the other bracket. Doesn't really matter. But we'll go with Thekissis. So it looks like they're sizing each other up, trying to decide what to do here. It's quite the range, I must say myself. Thekissis is hit with a nuke, loses 10% life. Napoleon's hit, loses 66% life. Napoleon hit Thekissis for 356 damage, whereas now we got Napoleon hit her for 750. She's only at 20. Oh my goodness. Dropped her to 29%. But Thekissis returned with violence. Says only 398. But it sure seems like it was more than that. Downed her pretty good. And that's that. Thekissis takes it. So we are now done with the wizards. I think the warriors might be next, but we'll find out. So it is going to be warriors next. First up, we're gonna have Fatal versus Violence. Gray and Crumb lucked in with the bye from the first round. First up, we'll have Fatal versus Violence. They don't need a buff, so they're being told to buff. See if they have any clickies. Skeleton form. You know, gotta reduce that hitbox. That ogre hitbox. All right, they got the word to begin. Fatal, 92% versus Violence, excuse me, in Clown Patrol. He's at 90%. Let's get a read on Fatal. Fatal at 90%. Hopefully they don't fight next to the wall. Trading blows, jousting, doing drive-bys. %, violence at 82%. They don't have all of their abilities like they might in Velius and beyond. 73% on violence, Fatal at 89%. So it appears they are both using two-handers. Violence has dropped below 70%. Oh, we got a proc there. Nice. Fatal still at 78%, so Fatal's in the lead here. Violence hit Violence for 324 points of non-melee damage, but he also hit Fatal for 217. I'm not sure what that is, you tell me. Violence down to 52%. These gnomes are so hard to click on when they're moving around. Fatal at 65%. Evened it out there a little bit. Got a standoff here. I think Zach is true. This is going to take a little bit. Violence scores a critical hit of 30. That was with the two-hander. Let's get a read on Fatal. Violence at 44%. Fatal at 65%. Still has a nice chunk of a lead. Fatal scores a critical hit of 18. That's not going to do it. At this point, having a Troll Warrior might be the play. I think that was the play back in the day, right? In that original duel tournament, there's like a video on YouTube from, 25 years ago or whatever when they did that duel tournament in the arena at Lake Wraith tier. I think the trolls ended up winning, right? Fatal at 65. Violence at 22. Violence again with these same procs, dealing more damage to himself than the enemy. Not sure what else comes along with that. Maybe there's something of benefit there. Can't think of what item that is. Violence at 18%, sub 20%, Fatal over 50% still. Looks like Fatal's gonna take this handily. I feel like if Violence procs again, he might die. People are commenting about the proc now. Steel Sleet. Violence down to 12%. Fatal likely at 50%. Still, he's at 43 actually, so Violence made a little leeway there, but he's at 4%. He's gonna go down here. The little gnome that could took out the Ogre Warrior. Fatal is teabagging Violence. As he was passing out, bleeding to death, Fatal teabags Violence. Gives him a bow at the end, after teabagging him in front of everybody. Okay. That was the first teabag of the day. So we're gonna see Fatal move over to face Gray in the semifinals. And we're probably gonna see that match right now, like based on how they've been doing things. All right, so we're going straight into it. Bjorn Ironside takes some damage there. He's at 93%. Zordon of Power Rangers, if you will. Already down to the 83%. Bjorn seems to hit like an ogre. Bjorn does look scary. It looks like a boss. So he didn't stay on the top for whatever reason. Maybe somebody's AFK. Jesus, these gnomes, man. Bjorn still at 85%. I had him for a second. That's on me. This is like trying to catch a fly with chopsticks. Zordon at 83%. We're gonna stay on him for a little while since he's so hard to freaking click. We got no illusions here, but Bjorn looks like an absolute beast anyways. He's proccing something. 164 damage twice, 132, 164 again. His proc is just constant. Zordon at 61%, Bjorn at 75%. That proc, I don't know. That proc's good. And it's not doing the self-damage like the other one. Somebody said they need hit damage on the stream. I agree. Bjorn hits for a critical strike of 136. Very nice. Zordon took that on the chin. Bjorn at 72%. Oh my god, Zordon. It's so hard to click. Zordon at 47%. Yeah, maybe they can make some improvements when it comes to chat logs. Where we can get, you know, somehow able to emote damage in a larger radius as well. For future events. I don't know. That's, you know, it's going to have to be some dev work there. Zordon at 47%. Bjorn at 53%. Zordon is catching up. Zordon is also hitting with the procs. But Bjorn is getting more procs. Zordon at 47, Bjorn at 44. This is very close now. Zordon getting a couple of procs in a row, catching him up. Perhaps. Zordon also now getting a crit. So Bjorn at 34% suddenly. Zordon at 47% took the lead. Ogre's not doing well in the tournament. True. Beware of the frenzy crips. Some crippling blows are going to come out towards the end, maybe. Bjorn at 31%. Not much has happened in the last 20 seconds. Zordon hanging tough around 50%. Okay, Bjorn took a shot there. He's at 31. Bjorn did pull off a proc. Wow, which was actually some damage. Must have hit him hard melee and then also a proc because it took Zordon down to 36%. People keep talking about the gnome hitbox. Zordon hanging at 36%. Bjorn half of that at 18%. Zordon hit a crit, but only 18 damage. Apparently there's a bunch of French people on this server. Not sure what Zordon's doing, but he sat down. He might be sitting on server ticks to get a little life. Min-maxing. Bjorn down to 12%. See if we see any crippling blows here. Could be hilarious. Zordon at 36% still. Hasn't moved. Bjorn at 12%. Oof, gets drilled. 4%. Not sure what he's playing with his food now. Just finish him off. 2%. Zordon at 29 still. Finish him off. This is a long day for everybody, buddy. Come on. And he puts him down with a proc. So Zordon's going to take that one. Pretty handily. It didn't look good for him in the beginning, but it's a long duel. So we're going to see Zordon versus Crumb next, and the winner is going to face Fatal in the finals. All right, we got Zordon versus Crumb. We got a dwarf up in here with a different weapon as well. We got an axe entering the arena. Crumb of Savage Wolves, a different guild than we've seen. Crumb, 93%. Zordon, 96%. Crumb with the front flip. I think people call it a barrel roll, but it's a somersault. I don't know why it's called a barrel roll sideways. Like you roll a barrel sideways. I don't know. Zordon, still in his 90s, whereas Crumb has dropped into his 80s. See, right here actually, somebody shouted barrel roll advantage. It's not a barrel roll. But everybody calls it a barrel roll. Somebody, tell me what's going on. What do I not know? What am I missing? Zordon, still in his 90s. Crumb now in his 70s. Zordon still sitting for health ticks. Crumb got stunned there. Didn't seem to take damage though. Zordon still at 90. Somebody calls for everyone to be quiet. Let them duel. Zordon finally drops below 90%. He's at 86. Crumb is at 74. Napoleon keeps asking for a summon because he jumped into the arena and was slain by the GM. It's like when somebody streaks on the baseball field or the football field. In the middle of the duel tournament, the ground beneath your feet trembles as something within the plane of sky awakens. How are you going to do that during a dueling tournament? Crumb is at 69%, or is that 89? 69%. Zordon is down to 81 though. It's actually at 59%. Got about a 20% lead on Crumb. Does Zordon. This one's a bit slower. I don't know how an ogre with all that stamina and strength got his handed to him. Keeping that 20% distance. I think that's our first proc. Crumb falls below 50%. Someone says they already got the mob in Plane of Sky, 50% HP. I don't know if that's trolling or not. Maybe it's true. Crumb down to 38%. Zordon at 73%, so the gap widens. Pretty slow match here. Pretty slow match. 71% for Zordon. 35 for Crumb. Not sure what that was. Crumb goes into a Berserker Frenzy, is at 30%. Zordon is still above 70. So it's pretty one-sided. Although it's one-sided, it's taking longer than the others. I don't think anybody's landed a crit yet in this match. Crumb hasn't moved from 30% in 10 years. Zordon is down to 60 though, so Crumb has moved the needle a little bit here. Crumb does seem to be taking damage. He's down to 24% now, although Zordon is getting closer to 50. I think it's too little too late. There's another proc by Zordon, chunking at Crumb's health, bringing him sub 15%. Now he's sub 10%. Meanwhile, Zordon is still at 46%. He's going to finish him off here. Unless he plays with his food again. Crumb has 0%. He's a walking corpse. Shoot him with a bow, Zordon, that would be the play. And he slays him. Crumb goes down. Zordon is sitting at 44%. Looking at the bracket, we're going to see Fatal versus Crumb in the final. And we'll see who is the best of the best warrior at less than 2 months into the server, about a month and a half into the server. All right, here we are. Zordon, he gives a bow to Fatal. Fatal gives a bow back. The final. One of them has a Monsoon. What is that from? I don't remember. And the other one has, I think, an Earth Shaker. I think it's the same as the Ogre had. Save that for some Shaker paging, boys. Fatal's still at 100%. Zordon at 96. We got some gnome on gnome violence here. Fatal scores a critical hit of 32. No procs yet. Ooh, Zordon with a nice crit of 109. It's pretty good. Zordon at 94%. Fatal, that didn't, even though with 109, it didn't take him down too much, but he just got a proc there. The proc didn't come up on the log for whatever reason. Fatal does return a crit of 127. Fatal at 85%. With Zordon at 85%. Neck to neck here. I wonder why that proc didn't show up on the chat log. It might be a range thing, which again, hopefully is something that they can work out in the future, if possible. Which I'm sure it is. I mean, look at some of the work some of these private servers have done. Oh. Wrong gnome. Fatal at 81%. Zordon, I believe he's at 85% still. Got another crit coming in from Fatal at 76. Downright's using a telescope. That might have been the play. I've got that on my Ogre Shaman on P99, and that might have been the play. Could probably pick one up for next to... I could have probably somehow gotten one from the Bazaar for free. Or next to free, you know? I don't know. Farm a couple bone chips if I would have thought about it. If this wasn't just like off the cuff suddenly. Zordon's at 80%. Fatal at 58%. Suddenly a turn in the tides here. Someone's taken over a bit. Napoleon's still asking for a summon. Maybe the GMs didn't take too kindly to him jumping in the arena. Fatal gets clocked with a 270 damage crit, bringing him down to 41%. How do you not click on the fucking guy? Zordon's still at 76% health. Ooh, tab target worked there. Fatal down to 36. Yeah. Zordon with another crit with 97. The RNG is in his favor. Fatal lands a crippling blow of 114. First crippling blow we've seen in all of these duels. Fatal at 28%. Crippling blow might not be enough, as Zordon is still at 67%. This is a massive discrepancy here. Looks like Zordon got a proc now as well. He's just laying it all on. This is a landslide victory. It's not finished yet, but we'll see here. Fatal down to 10%. I think Zordon's still around 60. Fatal gets clapped in the end. Zordon at 67%. That was the final. So congrats to Zordon of Power Rangers. He's going to go ahead and take it over Fatal in the final. Quite handedly, I might say. So we'll see what class we have coming up next. We have 4 of the 9 classes involved done. Next up is going to be monks. And this is what the bracket looks like. So same layout as the warriors. Turin and Juicy got lucky with the buys. We're gonna have Grimy versus Parcel, and Troon versus Saban. All right. Grimy versus Parcel begins now. This one should be interesting. Pretty good. See what they can do. See, does Feign Death drop target? I'm not even sure. Grimy's at 81%, pretty quick. Parcel holding up at 98%. Hopefully this is a little quicker than the warrior. Parcel's still at 99, whereas Grimy has dropped to 76. Parcel's looking like an absolute beast. Parcel at least is down to 90 now. But Grimy is dropping down. Grimy has met 50%. They are going to have a mend in here somewhere. Parcel at 86. Not much has happened to Grimy in the last while. He's at 43%. Let's check Parcel. He's at 82. Nearly double. Grimy's back up to 62%. He used Mend. I feel like you got to be careful with Mend, because if you have to go back to back, it might not be up for the next fight. What is Mend's cooldown? Like, I forgot already. It's like 5 minutes or something? Maybe it's only... Isn't something like that? I don't remember. They might just reset your cooldowns, I don't know. Parcel 77%, Grimy 57%. As far as I know, Parcel still has his Mend. And he's not going to need it at this rate. Grimy's taken an absolute beating. Parcel still at 61%. Grimy's dropped down to 31% and does not have Mend. Parcel appears to be an absolute unit. Grimy's on his way out here, 18%. Parcel hasn't been able to land a hit for a moment here. Still above 50%, Parcel. Grimy's getting taken down, single digit percentage here. Just another couple shots. Parcel might be finishing this above 50%. Nope, drop down there. I mean, he could use Mend, of course. This last 6% though. 2% dead. Grimy's gonna get taken out by Parcel. So we're gonna see Turin versus Parcel, and we still need to see between Troon and Saban. All right, next matchup is started. A little late on this one. We got Parcel 100%, Turin 100%. Parcel doing back-to-back duels. The winner of this should be going to finals. Parcel has yet to take damage. Turn at 94%. Finally, we see a kick. Haven't seen a kick animation. That first one. Parcel still at 100%. Parcel has at least taken some damage here. Both of them still above 90%. Starting out with the slow burn. Oh, we're seeing mini kicks. Turn at 86%, parcel at 95. So we do have Ixars, it seems, even though this is in Classic. So I guess the server does have Ixars. Out in Classic, I did see Ixar NPCs in the tunnels. GMs, like a Warrior Trainer, SK Trainer, and so on. So I guess you could just make them straight out the gate on this server. Parcel at 87%. Turn at 95%. I think you used Mend already in hopes of maybe getting a second cooldown. Parcel will probably just ride it out. He hasn't used Mend yet. First fight or this one. Turn's doing some work though. Got Parcel down to 79 so far. Hasn't been hit much since he mended. Got a little sit tick in there. Turn 80%. Parcel 92%. Parcel must have used Mend. Napoleon says get toe to toe. It's boring. Turn at 80%, Parcel at 87%. So it's pretty close. This one's actually pretty close. Their life really hasn't moved. Quita says, imagine if they had a fungi. They'd probably be permanently 100% life. Ooh, this one might take some time. Holy moly. Crowd is getting antsy, talking smack. Give him damage shields. True. Turin's lost 1% in like the last 5 minutes. Turin still in his 60s. Parcel's getting close. Don't know if he's going to troll. He's at 16%. He might just pop men last second, or it's on cooldown. Parcel's down to 7%. Turin's got to imagine he's going to finish him here. Turin seems to be like the real deal because Parcel won pretty handedly the first match, and Turin pretty much obliterated him here. That was kind of brutal, I'm not going to lie. So we're going to have Turin as our first monk to the finals here. We still need to watch Troon versus Saban, and then the winner of that take on Juicy. All right, so we got Troon versus Turin. I'm sorry, Troon versus Saban. Turin is in the finals. Hopefully this one's a little faster. People are really getting impatient with the monks. They're already, that last match kind of put some people on tilt. Saban already down to 90%. Troon at 79%, so these guys are taking damage. Napoleon says this is Interstellar all over again. One fight seems like 7 years. The crowd's gonna start throwing tomatoes. I don't know. Okay, Troon at 69%. This one is much moving along much faster than the previous. Saban at 91%. Saban seems to be taking a commanding lead here. Oof, these are some big hits. Troon at 54%. Saban still at 84%, looking good. Saban says no throwing weapons, thank you. Saban at 94%. Troon at 70%. Used Mend. Spawn's still at a solid 85. Troon back down to 63. Chat continues to troll. Someone calls for multiple duels. At the same time, monks on one side, and another pair of monks on the other. That would be funny. Troon's still in his 60s. Saban still in his 70s. So not much has happened. This started out much quicker. It's kind of slowed down. I don't think it's anywhere near the last one, but it's trying to get there. Still pretty close, 5% difference. Ooh, that was a big hit. Troon down to 26%. Gotta imagine, yeah, Saban has a 10% lead here. Now, it's just occurred to me, Saban, isn't that the, that's like the company that made the original Power Rangers show, right? Like at the end, that symbol showed up with like maybe a rainbow or something, and it said Saban, or maybe not a rainbow. Something like that though, right? Saban at 30%, Troon at 22%. Troon does use Mend here, which pops him back up to 47%. I may or may not have let out a sigh. Troon is now down 10% to Saban. I thought the monks would be a little more entertaining than this. My expectations were a little high. Saban at 46. Troon at 27 took another hit there. Troon down to 18%, took another big hit there. Saban at 43% has a commanding lead here in the end. Troon back down to 11%. Starting to look like Saban's going to take this one. Troon down to 5%. Saban smells blood. He's looking for the execution. And there it is. Troon goes down. Saban with 36%. Troon got a couple more hits off at the end. But it made little difference. Saban is going to be the winner. So Saban is now going to face Juicy, and the winner of that will face Turin in the Monk Finals. Oh, they're just saying go for it. These are too long, and the GMs are like I don't even get to take a breath. Rest my neck. My neck's kind of I don't know. Feeling a certain way. All right. Juicy's already down 10%, but he doesn't give any shits. He's going straight for Saban. He's not playing around. He wants to fight. He's looking for a phone booth to jam him in. Saban's down to 85%. Juicy's at 90%. Juicy might have a plan here, thinking Saban's men may be down. Now, oh, true. Grimy points out that Juicy's a human. So that's another reason Juicy just wants to fight. He wants to take it down. He doesn't have time to lollygag and allow the Ixar to regen. Saban's down to 76%. Juicy up at 88%, winning so far. Now I'm not sure if the GMs reset cooldowns or not. I imagine probably not. Saban at 70%. Juicy taking it to him. Juicy at 85%. Somebody says Juicy was made 2 days ago. I'm hearing in like a full group, you can level insanely fast on this server. I guess if you were being power leveled by a druid or something. Saban at 57%. Juicy is blasting. This is what I was expecting. This is the entertaining monk fight I was expecting. Saban has pulled out a weapon. Saban hit Juicy 41 points of damage. I think that's a no. Juicy still at 85, just chasing Saban down, not allowing him any room to breathe. Saban's going to want to do sit ticks. He's going to want to let his Ixar regen kick in. Juicy's like, I'm not having it. Come at me, bro. Saban now down to 18%. Meanwhile, Juicy only missing 18%. Saban is on the run. Saban used Mend, brought him back up above 40%, but Juicy doesn't care. He's got him back down to 28%. Juicy in his face. Juicy at 65%. Downright says, in theory, during these two monk fights, we could have done Plane of Sky. Saban at 28%. Juicy at 60%. We need some NBA stats here. Who has ran the most miles during this dueling tournament? Saban at 15%. Juicy at 57%. The lone human monk in this. Can he take it down for the humans? Saban continues to run. Juicy ain't about that life. Cutting him off. Saban trying to play touch butt. Juicy throwing flying kicks. Saban feign deaths. Try to shake him. Saban at 7%. Juicy trying to finish him off. Juicy hasn't been able to do any damage for like 30 seconds here. There we go. Down to 4%. He's chasing him down. Saban trying to be a slippery lizard. %. Can Juicy finish him off here? Wow. There it is. Saban goes down. Juicy remains with 32%, and I believe his mend still. I don't think he used mend at all. So it's the two people who actually had a buy are ending up in the final. But in the end, the winner will still have 2 wins, where everybody else will have 1 or less. So we got Turin versus Juicy for the final. They're already in here. We got Turin on the right, Juicy on the left. Zach says mend CD. Zordon says mend down from last fight. 2 though. Zach says Turin has the advantage in the finals. Did Juicy use mend? I didn't catch that. Juicy is inquiring about having a sew or not. There it is. Zordon tells him QQ. This is the PvP server though, right? There's a lot of shit talk on PvP when PvP is involved in anything. EverQuest is no different. The fight has started. Remember, Turin was the winner of the longest duel of all time. And Juicy, actually the winner of the shortest monk duel so far. Turin at 91%. Juicy at 84%. At the very least, we have Juicy involved in this battle, so he's going to push the issue. Which is good. At least one of them needs to push the issue. Juicy at 84%. Turin at 80%. Turin at 75. Juicy at 82. Juicy has taken the lead. I would love to see a human win this. Especially with some... Oh, Juicy went ahead and used mend. See, Juicy had mend up. I didn't see him use it last battle. So some people aren't paying attention. Or it just came up. I mean, that could be. But at the same time, if he would have used it any earlier, he would have potentially lost value on it. It seems Turin also used Mend. So now we are back to an even fight. Juicy's at 87, Turin at 94. Juicy takes a hit, drops him down to 79%, Turin at 82%, still close. Now we've got some action. Juicy down to 57%. Some hard hits must have happened because Turin is at 77%. Trying to tick there. Juicy actually down quite a bit now. 40%. Turin is laying it on. This is much more exciting. Thank you, Juicy. Thank you, Juicy. Whether you win or lose this, you are the MVP of the Monk dueling tournament. Because you have really sped this up. It only takes one of you to do it, and Juicy was the only one who would do it. Turin at 68%, Juicy at 40%, and again, it's probably due to him being a human, and he can't, waste time with the Ixars regenning and so on and so forth. Ixars also have the armor, the AC buff, so supposedly human monks have some sort of faster hand-to-hand, but I mean, Turin at 61%, Juicy falling far behind now at 26%. Both of them have blown Mend at this point. Oof, Juicy takes a massive hit, down to 14%. Turin at 54%, looking to take out Juicy at 11% now. 5%, he's going to take him down now. Looks like humans are not going to take this down. It is going to be an Ixar. Juicy is all but dead, floating around. Doing the robot. Moonwalking forwards. Regened 1%, so his legs are moving. Flying kick comes in. Drops Juicy. Grats to Turin. Thank you, Juicy, though. You're my real hero for making these last couple of fights entertaining and keeping the flow of battle going. I mean, I don't think anybody can see this. Here, let me shout then, right? Because I don't have it. Where was it? How do you spell the name? Juicy MVP. So here we go. We got Turin winning it, taking it all. Grass to Turin. Won the Monk Best of the Best. Let's take a look at the Best of the Best Druid bracket. This is a small bracket. Everybody gets a bye except for Bushwhacker and Downright. So we're probably going to see Bushwhacker and Downright first. Downright and Bushwhacker. That is correct. Let me see here. And there's only going to be 4 duels total for this first outing of Druid Best of the Best. Right now they are buffing up. They have a couple of minutes to buff. The GMs will restore their hit points and their mana, and then they will go. Now, throughout these duels, a couple people have said the Druids are going to have really long duels. So I think so far the Monks were the longest. But we will see. All right, it is go time. And they clash right in.
Well, the melee.
Oh, whoops. Sorry about that, had to mute something. So the Druids are going melee style, downright at 91%, Bushwhacker at 99%. You gotta imagine they do have thorns on. Full buffs. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is the duel here. What? People were talking smack on Druids ahead of time, but holy moly. I wish every class was doing it this style. Fighting in a phone booth right here, dead center of the arena. Looks like a lot of drifting death going on. Each player taking 52 damage from drifting death constantly. And melees. One's using a two-hander, the other one a one-hander and a shield. Downright, 49%. Bushwhacker, 63%. They do have heals. That is the thing. They're running Chloro, I'm sure, and have heals, but I'm also sure that they're running Thorns as well. We got a Drones of Doom on Bushwhacker. Got a nuke coming in for 131, another with 164. Starting to get a little squirmy here. Bushwhacker at 42%. Downright still up at 75%. Trying to get him to fail his cast, or what's he doing? What's a heal? Maybe just taunting him. No, 129 damage nuke thrown in there. Downright at 72%. Bushwhacker all the way down at 17%. Gets a heal off. Bushwhacker taking damage from the dot, though. Downright hits him with a 143 damage nuke. He's down to 6%. Downright still at 68%. Bushwhacker gets a heal off. We have no idea how much mana these guys have at the moment. Looks like Bushwhacker's going in for another heal. Got something else coming up here. Or I'm sorry, Downright. And that's gonna do it. Downright ends him with a nuke of 410 damage. Nukes him and finishes him off. Downright is the first Druid to take it up. Now that was actually a good duel. You know, a lot of people were saying over the course of the other duels that Druids were gonna take a while, but that was great. I hope they are all equally as entertaining and quick. We got Downright going up against Frodo and Myrn going up against Deputy in the semifinals. All right, we have Downright versus Frodo. It commencing now. Both of them still at 100% HP. Casting their opening spells. Starting to lay on. Frodo goes in with a nuke, 234 damage. They both do also have Drifting Death. Frodo's at 87%, whereas Downright's at 81%. This is another duel where one has a one-hander and a shield, where the other has a two-hander. Trying to get them both in the same frame here. Downright at 69%. Frodo back up to 100%. Frodo hit Downright with 410 damage nuke. He needs some time. He's going to heal. Oh, Downright gets hit with a massive nuke. Another 410 damage, dropping him, but he pulls off a heal. Gets back up to 48% health. Gets another heal off, back up to 70% health. Frodo's been at 100% pretty much this whole time. Looks like we're watching two little dogs fight. Downright at 96% health. Frodo at 98% health. They're going in for some melees. They both put on their two-handers. Downright at 77%. Frodo making a run for it. Frodo at 69%. Frodo's going down to 32%, getting hit with a couple nukes here. Also has the Drifting Death on, which is do we see Downright use a Mana Stone there? Frodo goes out with the 410 damage nuke. It appeared that Downright may have Mana Stoned to get enough mana to nuke, and then laid a 410 nuke on him and finished him off. Downright takes the win. These are much more timely. So Downright is going to be the first Druid into the finals. Next up will be Myrn versus Deputy. All right, we are starting Downright versus Myrn. Let me back up here. Starting out the typical Druid way. Now they're going to come in for some close combat. Myrn is ready to go. Downright at 93% and Myrn at 97%. Can't really see too much of what's going on here. Either that or there's been no nukes or anything yet. Downright at 88%. Mern at 98%. Okay, now we see that Creeping Crud and Stinging Swarm are both on Downright. They're very small dots. Mern got hit for 164 from Downright. But Downright down to 62. They're both at 62/63. Appears to be less action here than the previous ones. Going in for some melee damage. Downright at 80%, Mern at 70%. This is the first Wood Elf that we've seen, I believe. And right on cue, somebody says Halfling Dex, baby. Getting those procs. Downright at 69%. Mern down to 32%. He's going to have to go ahead and heal here soon. He's down at 19%. I'm sure that Downright at 97% is probably tossing a nuke here, but Mern heals back up to 43%. Mern heals again, 67%. Downright. Actually, they both... It says Downright hit Dark Singa for 164. So we got the GM down there with the camera, invisible. Gets hit with an AoE proc or something. Downright at 99% health. Oh, that's what somebody meant earlier when they said Dark Singa was getting wailed or walloped. I must have missed it in the combat log there. Mern back down to 43%, tosses another heal back up to 67%. Downright's been sitting at 97% for quite a while now. I'm thinking maybe Mern has lower mana than Downright, but I'm not sure. Downright still in his 90s, where Mern is down to 50 again. Seems like every time he runs past him, he gets a proc. Downright at 81%. Mern at 45%. Mern at 46 still. Downright down a little bit at 76. Mern's going to toss a heal, get him back up to 70%. The crowd's calling for Downright to get tested. They're skeptical. They think he might be on PEDs. Performance enhancing drugs. Mern at 60%. Downright at 75. Downright's going to toss a nuke, it appears. Yeah, true. Somebody is thanking the stabs in the chat. It's probably definitely true. All of these druids so far have had it, and it might be, you know, the reason that these have been a little bit sped up. This one is taking a little bit longer, but we're deeper in the tournament, so it's expected. Downright with another proc. Mern's getting no love on the procs. Downright with another proc, it seemed. Downright at 75% health. Mern at 54. I imagine they got to be getting low on mana at this point. So we got a drones on Mern. That'll slowly tick away at him. You're calling this worse than the monk? I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, the last couple of monk duels really helped out, but those first couple were brutal. Mern at 34%, we're getting somewhere. Downright at 61%. He's casting another heal, perhaps? Yep, he's back up to 85%. Mern's getting decently low. He's trying to heal here. He gets it off at 50, back up to 52%. It appears Drones of Doom has ran its course. Mern actually got a proc there. It's a rare proc for him. Although Downright casts another heal, keeping himself topped off. Look at the size of this mouse on this server. This is the mouse cursor I need on Quarm. Now you can customize your mouse on Quarm, but it takes a lot more work than it did for me on P99. I have a custom mouse on P99. That was really easy to do. Literally just pick a mouse out online and then drop it in the folder, but it's not like that on Quarm. Mern at 34%, Downright at 85. I think Mern is desperate for some mana ticks as he keeps running and sitting. So if Downright was keen to this, he would just try to beat his ass, but he's trying to do the same thing. But he has a giant life lead, so I would just try to beat his... Are you serious? Come on. You have a giant life lead, and you proc every other hit. Just wail on him. Mern down to 18% already, after just seconds of wailing on him. Don't let him get that heal off. I mean, it's too late now. If he has the mana for it, he's going to get it off. Med breaks, somebody says. Quite funny. Downright is at 100%. Mern did get a minor heal off, but he's back down under 20. Someone asking for clarity. God, please no. Mern appears to be snared. That seems to be the play. Get on him. Chase him down. I mean, right? Isn't that the play here? 86% health versus 13% health. Just wail on them. Get a couple procs, it's over. Somebody says at least they don't sit every 6 seconds to get their mana tick. They don't? Okay, he's going in for a nuke here. And by him, I mean Downright's going in for the nuke. Mern seems to accept it. It doesn't finish him off. Gonna take a melee or two. Downright at 78%. Mern at 2. That was weird. It even like took him off my target. And there we go. Downright gets the proc, which sits Mern down. Let's take a look at the bracket. It's gonna be Downright. Taking it down. All right, so we're moving on to Shamans here. Similar bracket. We've got 3 people with a bye and 2 that don't. First one's going to be Bradishia versus Melkor. And the winner of that will face Bleak. And then we have Thad versus Bulk. So we got Bradishia there. And Melkor over there. Couple of Ogre Shamans. Noticing they're not Ixars. When Ixars are available since launch. Ogre Master Race. Melkor says, man, I gotta poop. That is one downside of playing an Ogre Shaman. You always gotta take a shit. Now he has his pet out to where I know that, oh, she does. She was just sitting on it. That's normal. Okay, the duel has began. Oh, he's even got an Eye of Zom or whatever. Let's see what happens here. Not sure what's going on with the pets. It's hard to tell. He's staring at the wall. The pets are fighting. Okay. They're just like an old married couple. Okay, Melkor's at 74%. Bradishia is at 100%. I do see that Melkor has taken 116 damage over and over from Envenom Bolt. Melkor put a dot on the pet, trying to get rid of the pet first. The pet is Jonab. He is down to 48%. If he can finish off the pet, it'll be him plus a pet versus Bradishia. So that looks like to be his strategy. Bradishia's at 100%. Melkor's sitting and trying to med. He's at 89%. Bradishia says she's bugged and can't cast. Wah, wah, wah. All right, we're starting again. Melkor versus Bradishia. Doing the same strat, putting the pets in on each other. Although I feel like this time, it's kind of a... What's that glow? You have an EXP pot on? I feel like this time the strategy's out though, you know? We'll see. It happened again? No, now Melkor can't. What is happening? I'm fairly certain it has something to do with the Dispel plus pets. Uh-oh. Was somebody AFK? Third time's a charm. They're going in. Oof. We got an E-Bolt on Melkor. Brodisha, full health. Okay, oh. Melkor at 62%. The pets aren't fighting each other this time. They just want to get it over with. This is the third time they've had a restart. Melkor down to 43%. Brodisha still at 100. It's hard to target Melkor here. He's at 13%. He took a big damage from those dots. Melkor has 3 dots on him. Venom of the Snake, E-Bolt, and a Plague. I think he's going to go down here. He's at 8%. The pets are off in the corner, licking each other's butts. And Melkor goes down. Brodisha at 33% though. Taking some damage herself, presumably with dots. Although I don't see them. Maybe he was nuking her. Honestly, even though they had to restart 3 times, still not as long as some of those monk duels. So that's going to put Brodisha up against Bleak in the semifinals. And we have Thad versus Bulk. And then we'll move to the finals from there. All right, we're going to have Bleak, the Barbarian Shaman, going up against a Brodisha. Pets are acting crazy. They're going in on each other. Brodisha's at 86%. Bleak's going a little aggro here. Brodisha's taking damage from Envenom Bolt, but so is Bleak. They both have one on, 116 damage each. It appears Brodisha also now has a Venom of the Snake on. Bleak's at 70%. Brodisha's at 34%. She for sure has the pet on him. I don't know what's happened to this other pet. One of the pets is on the other pet, but the other pet's on her. She's at 9%. She goes down just like that. Bleak at 50% still. I think he dotted her up, had the pet on her, and just started nuking her. Simple as. That was quite a trouncing there. Good job to Bleak. Keeping it short and sweet. So Bleak's going on to the finals, the first person. We're now going to see Thad versus Bulk. Assuming Bulk is going to be a shaman. Thinking Thad might be a barbarian. Here's Bulk, actually. He is a shaman. Jesus. An ogre. No troll love? Oh, Thad is right here, and he is a troll. If it goes any, if it goes as fast as that last one, it's not going to matter. But I'm going to give him a couple minutes to buff up and everything. Okay, I think they're going to begin. He says being, and then he says begin. Oops. But one of them's just sitting there. I think they're going to go. We got Bulk taking on Thad for the last spot in the finals. Ogre versus Troll. It is go time. Thad says 1 sec. Like, what? It's go time, brother. You've been waiting all day for your spot. Okay, Thad's at 94%. Thad took 6 damage from Tainted Breath. Woo. Not sure what I'm seeing here. Bulk's at 86%. Thad is at 76%. Bulk's going aggro. He's chasing him down. Thad is at 69%, taking 19 damage from Scourge. 116 from E-Bolt. Bulk has Scourge on him. Bulk has little dots on him. Thad has a big dot and a little dot. Seems like Bulk's pet is on Thad and Thad's pet is on Bulk's pet. This looks like a repeat of last one. But if that's the case, Bulk is going to run over Thad. And that seems to be what's happening. Thad pulls off a heal. Still low on life, though. Bulk's not taking any significant damage. He doesn't have a sizable dot of any kind. Bulk's gonna need to re-up the E-bolt or something. Thad gets another heal off. He's going in with another E-bolt, it seems. That's right. Thad has another E-bolt on him. Bulk has still Scourge and Tainted Breath. Thad has Scourge now as well. Bulk has an E-bolt now. Now things are getting real. Bulk's at 49%. Thad is at 35%. He's going to need a heal. Bulk seems to have the mana to heal. Thad might be out of mana. Looks like he's tossing a heal now. He's at 24%. He's down to 16%, 13%. Is he going to get the heal off? I don't think he has mana for a heal. What's Bulk looking like? Bulk's at 25%. He's going in for a nuke to finish him off. He melees him down. Bulk gets the win. It was a little closer than it looked. Thad started pulling his weight in the end there, but it was too little too late. That means we're going to see Bulk go up against Bleak in the final match. All right, we're starting. We got Bleak versus Bulk. This is for the finals of the Shaman. Winner takes the title. Oh, starting out with some sort of nuke there. Or a proc or something. We've got the pets are on each other. Bulk is at 86%. Bleak is at 81%. Got Tainted Breath on both of them. Scourge is on Bulk. We got procs or going everywhere. Bleak has an E-bolt on him. That's a big one. Bulk likes to put that on early. Bleak is already at 34%. Bulk's looking to chase him down. 21%, 17%. He needs to get a heal off. He's got a pet on him. Bulk is going in for a nuke to try to finish him off. 2%, 0%. Is he going to get him? He's going down here. That is it. Bulk takes him down. Bulk at 61%. As soon as he dropped him down there, he just went on a frenzy. He saw that he was, you know, if he could get a nuke off faster than he could get a heal off, then it was good to go. And he finished him off. Nice and quick. Ogre power. Ogre Master Race. There wasn't a single Ixar Shaman in there. Bulk is going to go ahead and take it. First place for the Shamans. Next up, we are going to see the Paladins, best of the best. We only have 3 matches here. Hansel, Firiona, Vi, of course. And then we have Primordial and Holy. Names check out. Oh, Hansel's the person who's been next to me this entire time. Looks pretty geared from me accidentally right-clicking him several times. And then the winner of each of those will go to the finals. Very small bracket here for the Paladins. And then we are going to have Mages at the very end, which can't possibly take long, right? They're going to have pets. It's probably going to be the fastest one. Pets are going to wreck each other. I'm wondering what pets they might use, right? Are they going to use the backstab pet for when they turn and try to run? I imagine they'll use the root pet. But right now we do have the Paladins. The first up is going to be Hansel versus Firiona. They are in their buff period. And they are off. Hansel comes in with a nuke on Firiona. Well, she has 100% life. So does Hansel. Maybe it was... I forgot their Paladins. Maybe could have been anything. Let's see here. Firiona at 82%. Hansel at 92%. They're in there cooking. Gotta imagine blind comes into play here. Damn it. Furiona at 67%. Hansel at 86%. They're proccing, they're nuking, they're doing a little bit of everything, they're fizzling. They're running. Furiona down to 51%. 45%. Hansel is being the aggressor. 79% for Hansel. Furiona seems to be taking a good amount of damage. These Paladins are actually some of the more entertaining so far. Furiona's running for the fences. Hansel doesn't seem to be taking damage. He gets hit with something. It's hard to tell. I'm really hoping somehow next PvP tournament we get more details in the chat. Furiona down to 32%. I gotta imagine Hansel is still at 72%. He's not taking any damage. All Furiona is doing really is running at this point. He's chasing her down. I wonder if people could use like the scythe that does a complete heal in the tournament. I don't know. Hansel finally took some damage, down to 67%. Furiona actually healed up to 57%. They're going toe-to-toe here for the moment. What, is he blind or something? Or am I just too far away and I can't see them swinging? They're casting on each other. Furiona is getting low. Hansel at 62%. I think she tried to root him. Furiona's at 31%. Furiona dropping some nukes here. Hansel at 53%. Furiona at 49%. Hansel throwing another heal. They're both below 50% at this point. Not sure how much mana they have. Hansel's up at 61%. Furona V seems to, or Vi seems to now be the aggressor. Hansel's backtracking. She is still at 40%. She's been there for quite some time. Hansel keeps healing, so we know that he's using his mana. Bit of a stalemate here now. Hansel at 52%. Furona Vi at 28%. There we go. We got a couple of procs there. Hit her with something again. She's at 24%. These are very small nukes or procs. Hansel sitting at 55. Furona V getting really low. She used Lay on Hands. She's up to 79% health now. She was down to 3%, calling it close. I almost forgot about Lay on Hands. That is going to extend these duels for sure. Well, we do only have 3. But Lay on Hands is gone. It was either that or lose the tournament. So She had to use it, but she's not going to have it. If she wins this, she doesn't have it for the next fight. So a buy in a Paladin tournament is huge, but there's no buy in this one, so that works out perfectly. Having a buy as a Paladin is maybe too huge. Round 2, someone says. Firiona's at 58%. Hansel at 55%. You got to imagine they're getting pretty low on mana. I'm sure, obviously, Firiona is It's pretty neck to neck now. It's pretty cool how on this server it'll tell you in the chat who killed who. It just announces like every death in the chat. That adds to, you know, people are gonna start messaging you talking shit, telling you got pwned. Verbally teabagging you. Firiona's at 31%. Meanwhile, Hansel up at 44%. Although Firiona hit him with something there. Oh my goodness. Okay, she's back down to 26%. Hansel might get out of this without using his lay on hands. Save it for the next round. There's probably some dwarf paladin in here that's going to take it to these guys. She's down to 20%. Hansel sitting comfortably at 42. With lay on hands in his pocket. She's getting low at this point. He's probably smelling the blood and he's looking to finish her off. I'm surprised there wasn't enough bards to get a bard bracket. Although that would make me want to probably poke my eyes out. Alright, she's down to 4%. He's looking to get the finishing blow here, down to 0% while he's sitting at 37. It's going to be a comfortable KO. Firiona goes down. Hansel with the win. So we got Hansel going to the finals straight away. Next up, Primordial versus Holy. So it appears that Primordial is getting a bye, as Holy, I guess it was a no-show. So Primordial is getting put in there against Hansel, which I guess works out because they both have lay on hands up. Now Primordial is a dwarf, so I'm thinking Primordial will take this, but we'll see. Hansel was a half-elf, right? We're off. Okay, so far, Primordial, 84%. Hansel's still up at 90. This fight looks a little more aggressive. It's hard to tell. It's still early. Hansel at 76%. Primordial also. They're both tossing a couple of heals. Okay, here we go. Primordial's chasing down Hansel. Hansel's running away a bit here. Hansel at 62%, whereas Primordial's at 80%. I got to imagine Primordial slaps harder than Hansel, being a dwarf and all. Hansel at 60. These little people. Primordial, 55. Going in to blast him here. Primordial at 52. Hansel dropping down to 38. Heals up to 48. Pretty close match so far. Now the winner of this takes it all. This is the last match for the Paladins. I think there will be a much, much larger turnout at the next tournament. The next tournament will be in Kunark, I'm sure, seeing as Kunark is like less than 2 weeks away. There'll be more gear, epics, etc. 10 more levels, more spells. Things will be interesting. Hopefully they'll learn from this and make whatever adjustments they can. Not just the duelers, but I mean the devs. See if there's anything they can do to help out, kind of showcasing it. Hansel at 46%, Primordial at 47%, still neck to neck. Oof, Hansel gets pummeled. He's down to 30. Sounded like a parry there. Primordial at 35%. Hansel at 41%. That was a pretty chunky hill. Oh, it actually says it right here. Primordial tries to slash Hansel, but Hansel parries. Nice. Primordial at 55%, Hansel at 28%. Hansel's probably beginning to think about using Lay on Hands soon. They've got to be getting pretty and he's almost sub 20%. There's no rush. It's not like they do burst damage or anything, but he is down to 17%. He heals up to 29%. Not a bad heal, not gonna lie, for a Paladin. Mid-combat. And actually, like, getting it off. Primordial's still at 47%, though. Primordial is beasting out at the moment. Hansel down to 26%. Primordial still above 40. People PKing in Greater Fadark as a group, as you can see, split 3 ways. That means there's at least two, well, not at least, but there's 2 other people in his group. Hansel, back down to 21%. Primordial at 38. Okay, it's getting a little closer. Primordial at 31, whereas Hansel's at 19. Hansel hasn't been taking too much damage as of late, where Primordial is. Primordial is down to 25%. Hansel at 16, though. They both still have Lay on Hands. Primordial seems to be getting heals off, back up to 37%. Alright, Hansel's gonna start thinking about using it now. Oh, shit! Oh my god. I thought I was gonna fall into the arena. Bad timing. Hansel down to 10%. Okay, kind of a stalemate here. 7%. Bringing it down to the nitty-gritty. Okay, he uses it. Pops him back up to 72. Primordial still hasn't used it yet, although used Mana Stone quite a few times prior to popping. Was that the play? I don't know if that's beneficial. We got people fighting and out of character. Back to the match. Hansel has much more life now. Hansel has 86, whereas Primordial has 58. It's an over a 20% lead there. So this is round 2 for sure. Final round, if you would. Primordial at 46. Hansel at 59. Primordial at 38, tossing herself a heal. Hansel, meanwhile, is at 51%. I think Hansel's edging out Primordial here. Although it's actually evening back up. This is actually a really good duel. Primordial's got some work to do, though. Need that Dwarven strength to come through. Toss a couple of brews back. Hansel at 36, Primordial up to 40. Taking back the lead. They are both at 34%. This couldn't be closer. Meanwhile, people are just talking shit and out of character. When there's this really good, probably best duel of the night, possibly, right now. Closest, at least. Primordial at 31. Hansel at 20. Primordial's taking over. Primordial smells blood, although she got wrecked right there. Primordial at 25%. Hansel got hit hard too. He's at 19, but it's a 6% difference. Not that big. He's trying to get sit ticks in. Primordial has enough mana to heal. That's not good for Hansel. Primordial's at 27%. Hansel's sitting at 17. 10% means a lot at this point. It gets even closer. Hansel at 15, but Primordial... Primordial at 21. Hansel's going to need some good RNG. He's going to need to land some hits here. Primordial at 19. Hansel at 7. It's not looking good for Hansel. Hansel at 3%. He's going to get taken down here. 0%. Primordial's looking to finish it off with a blow here. Primordial at sitting at 14%. Just needs to land anything at all. And she does. She finishes Hansel off. Very close fight. Probably maybe the best duel. Maybe the best duel. So we got Primordial taking it. The dwarf took it. I mean, it is what it is. Congrats to Primordial. Next up, we have the last class. Last class in the tournament, at least. Now, there's only going to be 4 matches here. We got Chef versus Scooter up first. Then we're going to have Vintic versus the winner of that. And Bloop versus Deca. The winners of those will go on to the finals. All right, they started. They both have the Earth Pet out. Kind of assumed that. Did not assume they'd be fighting each other. Okay, they're not. So I think Chef is doing the right thing here. Chef's at 48%. Scooter's already at 42%. Scooter has the pet on them. Chef does not. Scooter goes down. Okay. So Chef moves on. It's going to be Chef versus Vintic, followed up by Bloop versus Deca, and the winners of each will face each other for the final. All right. We are on to Chef versus Vintic, excuse me. All right, Chef has the pet on Vintic. Vintic's pet is going to Chef. Here we go. We got the old-fashioned pet on master, pet on master. Vintic is already down to 27%. Chef goes down with a fat nuke. Holy crap. These mage duels are immediate. I mean, what else would you expect? Vintic hit Chef with 542. And he hit her with another 542, plus all the pet damage, and that was all she wrote. As you see here, Chef only got one of the 542 nukes off. So it's whoever can get 2 nukes off first is basically kind of the winner. So does it come down to internet connection? Holy moly. It's been a long session. We have one more to go. It's going to be Vintic versus Bloop to see whoever can get 2 nukes off faster. Let's give him a minute to buff up here. All right. We're going to unpause it a little bit early here because these fights are just over incredibly fast. So we don't want to miss any of it. We got Bloop over here on the left. We've got Vintic over here on the right. And we're just waiting for them to shout, begin. Then they're going to dash in there, sick their pets on each other, and try to get what seemingly is just 2 nukes off before the other. It might be RNG with the pet on you. You know what the play might be, is get in range, sick the pet on them, get back out of range, wait for them to get in range and spam. All right, they're beginning. Is the range really that far? That can't be. Okay, Bloop's coming in. I feel like the person who comes in is at a disadvantage though. Vintic at 100%. Bloop got hit with that. So Bloop is at 42%. Vintic's at 86%. Bloop's... See, now if they just sit there and wait it out, Bloop's dead. They're trying to cast another spell. Vintic's still at 75%. Bloop at 26%. If they just rely on pet damage, Bloop's gonna die. Bloop has to get a nuke off. Bloop at 15%. Vintic's still sitting at a comfy 58. Bloop's at 6%. Bloop's going to go down due to pet damage. There's nothing you can do. He's going to range you. Even though the range seems crazy. Bloop goes down. Vintic takes it. Congrats to Vintic. That's going to do it. That's going to be the final. Vintic takes it. Vintic wins for the mages. Primordial for the Paladins. Bulk for the Shamans. Almost forgot what that was. Downright for the Druids. Turin for the Monks. Zardon for the Warriors. I think it was Thekesis for the Wizards. Zach for the Necromancers. Downright for the Druids. And the last one was Genkai, the Barbarian Rogue. Took it for the Rogues. So congrats to all of those guys. It was pretty fun. Obviously, very early in the server's life. Very, very early in the server's life. Not a complete show out, but enough to get things going. I think the next one is going to be pretty wild, like I mentioned at some point in this video. Kunark, so there'll be epics, there'll be more spells, there'll be 10 more levels, there'll be way more gear. So I think the next one's going to be quite crazy. Congrats to all the winners. And I think the next one might be wild. Hopefully, like I said, again, hopefully the devs can figure something out to maybe put more details in the chat, maybe a wider area on seeing, you know, said details. Because I know, you know, like if I want to see on my Necromancer, if I want to see my pets damaged and everything, I got to be on top of them. So if we can get a wider range on that, maybe if that's something possible they could do in the coding, I'm not fully sure on, you know, the ins and outs of that, but that's just something I could wish for. But yeah, definitely cool. The monks were a little bit painful, I'm not going to lie. Everything else was pretty good. The monks were good at the end. Just two of them. Two of the monk fights were kind of painful. The other two were great. But yeah, cool stuff. Nice to check out some PvP on EverQuest. It's been a long time. I'm sure all of you remember that old video that's actually, you should look it up on YouTube. It's like the original best of the best video at the arena next to Lake Wraith here. Back in the day, the video is really grainy. It's pretty hard to watch, but I mean, it's a classic. But the video is older than YouTube itself, literally. So, but you can find it on YouTube. But it's really bad quality is what I'm getting at. Anyways, I will see you in the next video.